Good evening. This is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. Just wanted to do a real quick update on the potential for some early morning storms and possibly tomorrow evening. Maybe some storms. I think the chances are very low, but we just can't rule it out. I'll do more of a long range video, maybe Sunday evening, hopefully. So we will take one quick look here at the hemispheric water vapor loop, just to take a look. Again, we got the Aleutian Islands out here, and we can see this big trough that's dug in out there over the North Pacific, the Bering Sea, and the Aleutian Islands. That continues to point to the idea that we could have have a bigger cool shot somewhere in the 20th to 25th time frame. How big that cool shot will be, there are other factors at play, such as the Madden-Julian Oscillation, the Southern Oscillation Index. I'll have to do a video at some point and explain those a little more and what their effects are. But those along with several other drivers will affect how deeply, how deep that trough can dig. If for some reason we'd get some tropical activity in the Gulf of Mexico or the Atlantic seaboard, that could affect things as well. So still a long way out, but we do expect a pretty significant cool down, somewhere in the 20th to 25th time frame. We'll just have to see how significant that is. We'll go up closer and take a look at the regional satellite, and you can see this low spinning up here, and you can see this rim of storms kind of firing up along its boundary. And you can also see a nice feed of moisture coming up from the south. And between the two of them, we just can't rule out that a storm cluster could develop overnight and decide to sink in. And if it does, it would probably occur somewhere a little bit either side of daybreak, maybe the 4 to 6 a.m. time frame. So again, I think the chances are pretty small, but some of the data is pointing to that, and kind of looking at satellite, we can't totally rule that out, because I think this low's got a little bit of a southeastward drift with it, and that's where it's going to add the majority of the precipitation is going to stay up closer to that low. But you can see these little stragglers out here, and especially when they develop overnight, sometimes those will develop a southward drift on them, and I'll show that to you here on the forecast model here in a minute. This is the HRRR from Pivotal Weather. Again, I don't forecast by the models, but they are good visual tools. They are good tools if you see them and they make sense. And I'll show you what, sometimes they don't make any sense, and I'll show you what that means here in just a minute. But we'll take a look at the HRRR's high resolution rapid refresh model. This refreshes itself every hour. Every 6th hour you get a 36-hour run on it. So that's what I'm going to use here. And you can see it's got some storms popped up. This is around 9 p.m. tonight. So we'll kind of see if these develop at all. That'll give us a good idea of whether anything, if this model is on track, or if one of the others are. Maybe none of them will be. But you can see it keeps the majority of the activity to our northeast overnight into the early morning. This is around 7 a.m. and it's still got rain confined mostly up to the northeast. We get into tomorrow afternoon, and you can see it's just got some kind of pop-up stuff. Madison County sitting right here. You can't take the locations verbatim, but you can see it does demonstrate that there is the possibility for some little pop-up storms. Where they do pop up, they could be some localized soakers, if I could speak. They could drop a lot of rain in a very short period of time where they do pop up, and then 5 miles away could get nothing but some cool breeze from it. So we'll keep an eye on that, and you can see it kind of keeps that activity possible into early Sunday morning. It kind of wanted to develop another cluster up north and wash it out. Sunday, at one point, looked like maybe we could have some scattered or isolated storms around. Now they're looking very isolated at this point. So that's what the HRRR's idea was. I largely agree with it. I think most of the activity is going to stay to our northeast, but you can't totally bank on that. And we'll take a look at the NAM 3K, which is the high resolution NAM model. and we'll take a look at it, and we hit that same 9 p.m. period, and it's got its activity. It's kind of developing this bowed line, and this is what we want to watch out for if we're going to get activity in the morning, is something like this starting to develop, because these have a habit of diving south and southeast, which is kind of what the 3K wants to do. And you can see it makes it pretty vigorous. It's around 3 a.m., 4, 5, 6, and even it's starting to wash it out. I do think it's too far to the west with this. I think it's going to have to be pushed a little more to the east. But if this were to occur, I think the NAM 3K is too far west with it. And then you can see it kind of pushes on through, and we get on into the afternoon time, and then it kind of develops storms up to the northeast again. So the only place there's really model discrepancy is in the morning. And again, tomorrow afternoon we can't rule out some pop-ups. Can't rule out the storm cluster overnight. And if it hasn't developed by, if we're not seeing it starting to develop by 10 or 11 o'clock tonight, midnight, somewhere around there, it's probably not going to happen. So we'll keep an eye on that. If we see it starting to develop, you know me, I will post at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning if I need to. So I mentioned that sometimes models don't make any sense. Let's take a look at the NAM 3K. This is the 18Z run that it just finished up not too long ago, and you can see this is for 5 p.m. and it's got rain all over the place. So like it should be already raining according to this, and yet it's sunny as it can be. So this model makes no sense, and when you see the models initialized wrong, then you can pretty well rest assured that what comes after is also going to be wrong. So it's kind of things that I look out for, and when I saw this, this doesn't make any sense. There's no point in using it, but it is a good instructional thing on just the kinds of things to look for. So with all that, and we'll go back to the weather update page. You probably already have your 7 days already kicked out to all the social media. I do still have the high around 90 degrees tomorrow. It may not make it there, but because the dew points are really going to crank up tomorrow, and the higher humidity makes it harder for the air to heat up in the day, makes it harder for it to cool down at night. So if we don't make 90 tomorrow, it'll be because it's gotten really humid or because a storm has popped up. So, but I'm going to leave the high at 90. It's where I've had it, and I think the next 5 days we're going to be within a degree or two either side of 90 degrees, and it's going to be very soupy air. So even if it doesn't make 90, it's still going to feel hot and nasty. So it'll be good pool weather, but that's about all it'll be good for. I'm watching a potential front around Thursday that could cool us down some for a few days for another quick resurgence in warmth ahead of that bigger front in the 20th time frame. This rain still not really set in stone, but it's just going to be one of those patterns, where when we get this hot and humid, something could pop up at any point, any day. You can't really forecast it. So all we can do is let you know that it's possible, and then see what nature has in store. So with all that, I'm going to head out of here. I do want to point out that go to the Support Us tab over on the right side of madcoweather.com. It will take you to this page where you can do a one-time donation. You can pledge a monthly donation, which is the most helpful because then I know what's coming, and or you can pledge a yearly amount. And so just whatever works for you. It doesn't have to be a large amount. I have a couple people that do $1 a month. I have some people who are able to be more generous than that. We have picked up 3 monthly donors. Monthly subscribers. We have about 10 people who've donated over the last couple of days, so it gives me some hope that we're heading in the right direction. We still need more help on this to really keep me going. But with that said, I'm not going to beat that horse anymore. I just want to make sure go to madcoweather.com, the Support Us tab over on the right, and you can choose your option right here. And if you need to do it by credit card, this is a great place to do it. So with all that said, this is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you.